In this recap video, we will be looking at Veloso ipapardon, BBM Duterte bumaba ang ratings, bayani sa pera mawawala na, at marami pang iba. Kumusta for me? Ako nga pala si Avor Joseph at welcome sa News that Worthy Recap Weekly Edition number 83, the Christmas edition for 2024. We have just covered since last week, so skip to the timestamps provided if it piques your interest. Here as a brief news commentary for your convenience. Executive pardon para kay Veloso. Matutuloy ba? More than 14 years in the making, nandito na sa Pilipinas si Mary Jane Veloso. Naging national news headline ang convicted drug mule na si Mary Jane Veloso noong 2015 na ang oras ng kanyang kamatayan or execution ay napostpone dahil sa public outcry at pakikipagtulungan ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas. Nahuli siya sa Yogyakarta Airport noong 2010 na may dalang mahigit 2.5 kilo ng heroin. Sinasabi niyang siya ay na-duped at nabiktima ng drug trafficking dahil hindi niya raw alam ang laman ng kanyang maleta. She was supposed to be killed via firing squad noong 2015 mismo na iyon nang siya ay hatulan ng korte sa Indonesia. Matatandaan siya ay pinaglaban ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas noong 2015, particularly the late President Benigno Noynoy Aquino III, para mabigyan ng temporary reprieve o pansamantalang delay ng kanyang nakatakdang execution dahil sa sinasabing pag-break ng protocol ni Noynoy Aquino para kausapin diretsa si then President Joko Widodo. She was granted temporary reprieve, delaying her execution for almost 14 years at naibaba pa nga into just a life sentence.
Ang interest ng Indonesia is the drug issue. Di ba? So if this person can help uncover this drug syndicate, it is of value to them. We can help, di ba, para bang extend her life at the very least. That's the hope.
The president was so adamant in saying we must transmit this to the Indonesia side as fast as we can.
So adamant that Aquino broke protocols by talking directly to the foreign minister.
He's only supposed to be talking to his counterpart there, but that shows you how determined and the president was to move that message as fast as possible.
But the times had changed. An anti-drug campaign warrior won the presidency noong 2016 with the rise of the populist rhetoric of President Rodrigo Duterte. He was uncompromising sa kanyang rule of law, with some jumping over the line by inducing police officers na encourage manlaban ang mga suspects, mga drug suspects na kanilang i-apprehend para meron silang rason para patayin ang mga suspect na ito. In total, around 6 to 30,000 people was said to have been killed under the popular but brutal and bloody war on drug campaign of the Duterte administration. When he came into office noong 2016, a few months after being elected noong September, Duterte has apparently given then-President Joko Widodo and the Indonesian government to go ahead and execute Mary Jane Veloso if they wanted to. Sinabi ni Duterte, to follow your own laws, I will not interfere, which is kind of a badass mood. The president a year ago is not aligned with what I am and what my goals are. He is not aligned with him. She had become the media darling for a year at that time. The poster child to the corrupt system na ginagawang biktima ang mamahirap with a promise of grandeur at easy money without actually asking, what the hell am I going to Indonesia for with what the contents are? That I would be given 20,000 pesos just for transporting it. You know, it must be illegal, but she apparently did not think so. Netizens and Filipinos in general seem to have quite a soft spot para kay Veloso, saying na she is a victim of circumstance at ito ay dapat nating tutukan at i-push ang kanyang pagkakalaya laban sa banta ng execution sa ibang bansa. Pero I could feel the mood shift lalo na at ang nanalo ay isang hardline anti-crime populist president. The Filipinos are becoming more and more open to the idea of the death penalty. Kahit na once again, which may be one of the reasons bakit na-delay yung pag-uwi mismo ni Veloso dahil hindi nga kinausap ni Duterte. Because as he said, and quite frankly, tama lang na sinabi niya na we will not interfere with your own laws. Ginawa niya yan sa bansa mo, 'di ba? And The thing is, the prosecution ay hindi targeted. Equal ang lahat. Talagang malakas at katulad ni Duterte, galit sa droga ang Indonesia. Kasi it would be kind of hypocritical for us to save our convict na drug courier from execution sa ibang bansa, samantalang sineselebrate dito sa bansa yung mga extrajudicial killings regarding drug suspects. Yung mga sinasabing nagpe-purvey at nagbebenta ng illegal na droga. Not to mention na marami tayong mga Indonesian, Malaysian, and other nationalities na nahuli dito sa Pilipinas. Bakit si Veloso? Papa, kawalan mo.
I said, Mr. President, so as not for him to apologize or anything, said, Mr. President, I have my laws here. It's good that you have the death penalty here, because at least you can bring it down to the barest minimum. I said, go ahead and implement the law. We never mentioned about Veloso. Sinabi ko lang, we will respect the judgments of your courts. Period. It would have been a bad taste in the mouth to be talking about having a strong posture against drugs, and here you are begging for something. I'm sorry. I have nothing to apologize because, the law is the law. But then, again, nothing to say I'm sorry for, but the circumstances would not allow me to wander to another field of our talks.
Nang may panibagong presidenteng umpo sa Malacanang, nagsalita ang ama ni Veloso at falsely claiming that the previous two presidents did not do anything and that they have hope that PBBM will do something for their convicted daughter. I just told you na Aquino even broke protocol para lang matanggal sa death row or ma-delay yung execution ni Mary Jane Veloso noong 2015. So Duterte unwilling to do anything and even symbolically gave Joko Widodo the go-ahead signal to execute Mary Jane Veloso. Parang napaka-ungrateful, di ba? Kasi parang sinabi mo na walang ginawa si Aquino. I mean, sure, si Duterte because he's not willing or unwilling to do anything regarding that to impede upon the Indonesian government. Pero pag sinabi mo si Aquino walang nagawa, that's just ungrateful. No less when the president that saved their daughter just died a year or so ago. Don't spread lies. Hindi mo na nga venerate, hindi mo na nga tinulungan, hindi ka na nga nag-celebrate in the name of that president that saved your daughter from execution. Nagsasabi ka pa na wala siyang ginawa. Now, fast forward to earlier, or at least noong 2022 at earlier this year, bumisita si President kay newly elected President Prabowo Subianto, where he apparently successfully convinced Subianto to give Velasco to the Philippines. Probably dahil bagong presidente pa lang si Subianto at marami siyang human rights violations yung nakaraan, so he wants to wipe that out. At kailangan niya ng diplomatic points. Ngayon, gusto nang bigyan ng presidential pardon urged by human rights organizations, to which I say no. Not so fast. Masyado tayong hasty sa ating paggamit ng emosyon to put one over on us. Tandaan natin convict pa rin siya as a drug trafficker. Binigay na nga sa atin ng Indonesia tapos ipapardon agad. Malaking sampal sa Indonesia yon kasi nga binigay nila yon with the understanding na she would at the very least be serving life sentence. Pero ngayon gusto natin na wag na lang. Okay na yan. I-pardon na natin yan. It would be hypocritical. And at the very least, it would be bad for us. At least kung ganito kabilis ang gusto mong pagpardon sa kanya na after ng Pasko, kailangan nandito na siya, nasa pamilya niya na siya. Hindi na ba enough na nasa Pilipinas siya at madali na siyang madadalaw ng kanyang pamilya? Kasi again, let me remind you, convicted na siya. Yan ang alam natin. At kahit na maraming umamin na dinupe nila si Mary Jane Veloso, did she not have the slightest tinge of curiosity? Bakit siya bibigyan ng dozens of thousands of pesos? I think it was like 20,000 pesos para pumunta sa Indonesia, dala ang isang suitcase, ang isang bagahe. 'Di ba? Parang ang weird nun. Again, hindi mo masasabing, hindi ko po alam kung ano yung dinadala ko. Eh, bakit mo dadalhin? 'Di ba? Now, I'm not arguing na ang sistema ng Pilipinas, lalo na ang pagpe-perpetuate ng paghihirap ng tao ang isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit napipilitan ng ibang tao para gumawa ng ganitong seemingly unproductive at hindi hindi lohikal na pagsisiyasat, na hindi lohikal na paggawa. Pero a lot of people here in the Philippines are doing their best to make an honest living. Masyado kayong pinapangunahan ng emosyon ninyo. One of the reasons she was sent here ay, sure, there's the diplomatic ties strengthening at that PBBM may pardon her. Alam na nila yan. Isa pa would be so that she would be near her family. But that doesn't mean that she should be pardoned instantly pagdating niya ng Pilipinas. Kasi again, I don't think it is even legally possible to do so. Masyado kayong pinapangunahan ng emosyon ninyo from 2015. It will be a slap on the Indonesian government's facade if you pardon someone they've already convicted and even go as far as to sentence her to death via firing squad. So no, ye mustn't be too hasty demanding executive clemency for someone when there's a lot of more people deserving of the sympathy. Sure, she's a victim of her circumstance and the oppressive system, but that doesn't mean she shall be exempt from the law. And sure, it is in the law for someone, for the president, to give unconditional clemency, unconditional pardon. Pero ang nakikita natin doon, marami tayong convict, mga international, mga foreign convicts too. So, what does that set us? What does that say about us? Diba? Again, you can ponder on and on about this. Hindi ko sinasabing tama yung opinion ko, but this is my opinion. And as far as I'm concerned, bakit natin bibigyan ng ganitong malubha at napakabilis na pagdemanda ng pagpardon kay Mary Jane Veloso if kakabigay lang sa atin? You can give Mary Jane Veloso like a few years at the very least bago mo siya i-pardon. Maybe after or maybe before you go out, you can pardon her. Pero sobrang bilis naman na hindi pa nga dumadating si Mary Jane Veloso sa bansa. Gusto niyo na agad na ipapardon siya. What does that say about the Philippine government? What does that say about the Filipino people? Masyado tayong pinapangunahan ng emosyon natin. BBM Duterte, bumaba ang rating. Nagsibabaan ng mga trust rating at approval rating ng mga Pilipino sa ating Presidente, Vice Presidente, Senate President at House Speaker. Halos lahat ng ating mga matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno ay hindi katiwa-tiwala o ka-approve man lang para sa mga Pilipino, or at least the majority of the Filipino, according to the recent Pulse Asia survey. Noong November 26 to December 3, tinanong ang mga Pilipino kung gaano nila pinagkakatiwalaan at tinaaprobahan ang mga matataas na opisyal ng gobyerno. Ayon sa kanila, bumaba si Marcos ng 2 at 3% from 48 to 50 para sa approval rating noong September at 47 to 50 para sa trust rating from September. Si VP Sara naman bumaba from 60 to 50 at 61 to 49 sa approval at trust rating respectively from September. Si SP Escudero or Senate President Escudero naman bumaba from 56% to 51% at 60 to 53% sa approval at trust rating respectively again from September. Si House Speaker Martin Romualdez bumaba from 31 to 21 at 32 to 25 sa approval at trust rating respectively from September. Parang walang may gusto kay House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Now, we can attribute all of the decrease from just time itself dahil unti-unti nang natatapos ang honeymoon period ng mga Pilipino at mga kanilang bagong elected officials, lalo na at papalapit na ang midterm elections. Si Marcos hindi naman gaanong kataas ang binaba and in all reality still has a pretty great approval at trust rating kahit na majority of the Filipinos do not trust or even approve of him. Ganoon din kay Sara. Kung tutuusin, dapat mas mababa pa yan with all the generational crash out na nangyayari, lalo na kay Sara.
Putang ina ninyong lahat! Martin Romualdez, Lisa Marcos, Bongbong Marcos. May kinausap na ako na tao. Sinabi ko sa kanya, kapag pinatay ako, patayin mo si BBM, si Lisa Araneta, at si Martin Romualdez. No joke. No joke. Nagbilin na ako, ma'am. Pag namatay ako, sabi ko, huwag ka tumigil hanggang hindi mo mapatay sila. And then he said yes.
Including yung mga calls for impeachment laban sa kanya.
Social media yesterday saying that Vice President Sara Duterte, larger scheme of things is unimportant, so don't file an impeachment complaint. Sabi galing daw po sa inyo yon. Can you confirm that, sir? Was there an effort on your part to stop the filing of impeachment?
Well, it was actually private communication, but nalik na, yes. Because that's really my opinion. This is not important. This does not make any difference to even one single Filipino life. So why waste time on it? What will happen to if somebody files an impeachment? It will tie down the House, it will tie down the Senate, it will just take up all that, and for nothing. For what? For nothing. For nothing. None of this will help improve a single Filipino life. As far as I'm concerned, it's a storm in a teacup.
Sir, have you reached the point of no return, you and VP Sara, sir?
Never say never.
Thank you, sir.
The only person to be approved and trusted by at least the majority of those who were served ay bumaba rin. Si Senate President Escudero. Well, the common folk really don't know much about him and what he does as the Senate President. Pero all we know is that he is also associated with the Marcoses. Loyalista pa nga eh. Kaya he incurred some pretty large drops as well, kahit na hindi naman siya ganun ka-visible. Si Martin Romualdez naman, well, madalas naman talaga mababa ang approval at trust rating ng mga House Speakers. Kasi again, hindi naman natin sila kilala. Most of the time, hindi natin sila kilala kasi hindi ganun ka-visible at minsan nga hindi ganun ka-impactful. Hindi kilala ang House Speaker. Only he got to be actually known by the Philippine people, and it's not even in the good way that we know House Speakers. They say all publicity is good publicity, but au contraire, mon ami. Talagang nasa divisive times na tayo, and it is evident na the mutually assured destruction manifests from itself, from Duterte's crash out in the online meeting, from Duterte again uncovering some stuff regarding Pogo businesses to which that the House Speaker Romualdez has been operating on and even profiting off of. Pati na rin yung sinasabi ni, again, Sara Duterte noong siya ay Department of Education Secretary laban kay Representative Zaldico at House Speaker Martin Romualdez na kumukuha raw ng pera ng kabanang bayan na dapat ay nakalagay sa DepEd.
Paano nyo ginagel ang pera ng Department of Education? Martin Romualdez. Inattach nyo ang projects na hindi man lang dumaan sa paaralan, sa SDS, sa region, even sa central office. Basta na lang listahan ng mga congressman. 19 billion. Kinuha nyo ang 5 billion sa repairs, nilipat nyo para mukhang sa illegal, tanggap ka sa Pogo. Pinaalis nyo lahat ng kompetisyon ninyo, naiiwan ang Pogo mo. Tanggap ka, Pogo. May nagsasabi pa, tumatanggap ka sa smuggling, sa droga. Tapos kuha ka dito sa National Treasury. Akin ito. Babawiin ko lahat.
Here is a page news for your convenience. Bayani sa pera, mawawala na. Nilabas na ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas sa mga panibagong polymer banknotes, those plasticky-looking fiat paper money na unang nilabas with the Philippine Eagle sa 1,000 piso. They have removed the images of heroes and notable Filipinos sa 1,500 150 sa panibagong edisyon ng malaplastic na pera with animals notably from the Philippines. Tinanggal sa 1,000 pisos sina Jose Abad Santos, Vicente Lim at Josefa Llanes Escoda kapalit ng The Philippine Eagle. Sa 500 naman, tinanggal sina Ninoy at Cory Aquino kapalit ng Visayan Spotted Deer. Sa 100, pinalit si Manuel Rojas sa Palawan Peacock Pheasant at sa 50 naman, Visayan Leopard Cat ang ipinalit kay Sergio Osmeña. A lot of uproar, of course, sa mga netizens, but hey, whatever. Hindi lang naman sina Cory at Ninoy ang nawawala, kundi lahat. So, even if targeted sila, what the hell do you want them to do? Use the new polymer banknote to design for some more notable Filipinos, or stay what the designs are right now already, with the statures of the Manuel Rojas, Sergio Osmeña, Ninoy and Cory Aquino, Jose Abad Santos, Vicente Lim, at Josefa Llanes Escoda. They don't wanna, and you know, it would be a big slap in the face. At mas mabuti nga ngayon na the President Bongbong Marcos had the sensibility na hindi ilagay yung tatay at nanay niya kapalit ng 500, because that would be funny but also alarming. At yan ang pagtatapos ng news and worthy recap weekly edition for roughly the 4th week of December 2024. Mag-suggest more topics and requests to the balita if you feel I'm Mr. President them in any way. Salamat sa panonood mga kabang. For me, like, subscribe, and follow my links to socials and for Joseph that will be linked down below. So susunod, of course, paalam.